What's up, everybody, and welcome to this very special episode of Flix and Six. We got 5 on it.
Woo!
That's right, we're talking about Jordan Peele's Us, live at the Santa Cruz Boardwalk. I'm Jeremy Miller.
Michael Harness.
Mariah Martel.
And this is Flix and Six. What's up, everybody? As we said up top, we are at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, where the film was shot. I almost said where it was filmed. The film was shot at the Santa Cruz Boardwalk, and being that the boardwalk is in our very own backyard, we thought we'd come down here and shoot our episode on location.
Yep.
So we're here, the sun's out, there's people everywhere looking at us like we're weirdos, but we're here to talk about us. Michael, get a minute on the clock.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
I give this movie a strong B+. I love the plot, I love the story, I thought it was incredibly unique. A lot of people on the internet are saying it was disappointing compared to Get Out. I think comparing the two is unfair. I feel that they're both very inventive in their own unique ways. I love the acting. Again, I love the story. I also love that it was filmed in our backyard.
Yeah.
People in our theater were going fucking nuts because we're looking at places we go to all the time. And that's awesome. Weak points, I thought it dragged a little bit. There was a lot of humor, but I thought that balanced the scary out a lot for people like Mariah, who don't necessarily love horror movies and get scared very easily. It's a movie for everybody. B+.
Cool.
Boom. Mike, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Michael.
I'm also going to give this a B+. I like the humor aspect, but I thought it was a little too much. I love horror movies. I love thrillers. I want to be scared. I want to jump out of my seat. So I thought it could have been a little bit more balanced as far as humor and the psychological aspect and like the jumpiness. It wasn't really that jumpy, but it did make me think the whole time. I wasn't really on the edge of the seat moment, but my brain was the whole time. But I agree. This isn't a film that you go to be scared. It's more of a mental fuck up, and I really like that. And I actually agree with what you said about you can't really compare his first movie to this movie, as they're very standalone, very unique in their own way. But I am excited to see what he does next. So B+.
B+, Michael. Well done, dude. 8 seconds left. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So I will give this movie a B. I do not like scary movies. I get very scared. So I didn't even really want to go, but it was the only movie, so I went. I'm happy I went. There were a lot of moments where I couldn't watch, so but I did really like the humor. I think that it was really well done and unique, and it was more of a psychological, one of the Thinker movie.
Thinker movie.
Thinker movie.
But I like those kinds of movies. So, I definitely recommend to see it. It was good, and it'll get your mind really going. Yeah.
Awesome. That is our initial take on Us, Jordan Peele's new movie. We are live at the boardwalk right now. We're going to be shooting the rest of our take on the movie with spoilers. We're going to explain the ending. We're going to talk about the plot. We're going to talk about the good things, the bad things, everything in between. And we're going to do that at New Brighton Beach, which is where a lot of the movie was filmed as well. But real quick, let's get you a pan around. Boardwalk, baby. And then right over here, hands across America. As we said, we're going to New Brighton Beach, talk about the rest of the movie.
We're Flix and Six.
We'll see you there.
Woo!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Flix and Six. On today's episode, we are talking about Jordan Peele's Us, the newest horror movie to hit theaters. And if you caught our intro, we were filming at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. However, we did say we were going to go and film at New Brighton and Seabright and a couple other places where the movie was filmed. We are not there. We are in the Flix and Six studio. And the reason, Michael, what happened?
Tell
the kids at home.
This is what happened. I don't know if it was a combination of car sickness and low blood sugar, but I drank an energy drink, not even a whole one.
A bang.
Not even a half of one. and I started to lose my shit kind of in the back seat, and I had to get out. And so we went and ate lunch, and then the weather wasn't like the best for shooting anymore. It was like starting to get a little chilly, and it was darker than it was earlier in the morning because we were at the boardwalk at what, like 11:30,
Yeah.
11?
11.
You know,
11.
like that's
Yeah.
early for boardwalking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so here we are.
The weather took a turn. Michael got hangry. We got kind of hangry.
Yeah.
And so we ended up here back in the Flix and Six studio. We're talking about us.
You know how sometimes things line up? Coincidences? Since we've been up here, they've been happening more and more. It's like there's this black cloud hanging over us.
Okay, now on our audio podcast, you're going to catch all of what we thought about this movie, okay? So find us on iTunes and Stitcher, listen to the full episode. For YouTube, we thought it would be good to just kind of recap the end and talk about kind of the meat of the plot, what people like or dislike about the film in relation to how it ended.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty unique, okay?
Yeah.
Now, Michael was on doing some research because he's a very responsible podcast host.
See, that's me.
That's Michael. I did not research, but I have theories. So we'll kind of see where we all end up on this ending explained video.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to sum it up until now, we're talking about a family of four. They go to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk to their summer house for a little vacation, where the mom, Adelaide, had previously run into herself in the House of Mirrors, and then that herself, the other version of herself, grew up. Red, thank you, Michael. Grew up, and now all these people that look like them are killing everybody.
Right.
That's the premise of the plot.
Yep.
Then at the end, it takes a twist. The twist is that when Adelaide went into that House of Mirrors, that spoiler alert for everyone who does not live in Santa Cruz, it is not real.
No.
I'm sorry to crush your dreams. There is no mirror house.
It was
in
like
Santa
a
Cruz.
shaman thing, and then it turned
Yeah.
into like the wizard forest or something. It's
was
not
right
real.
on the beach, too.
Yeah,
It's not real.
Nope.
Not real.
Everything else is real, though.
Yeah.
Those tunnels included. There are tunnels
Maybe
underneath
not
the Santa
whack-a-mole.
Cruz.
I don't want to know.
Oh,
that.
whack-a-mole is not real. We looked for it today. We were filming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
Cruising.
looked for it, but it's not there.
Nope.
Like, you know the part where they're going around on that ride, and down underneath, they're going around on the ride too? We were there. We filmed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
But the House of Mirrors, not real.
Not real.
Let's get into the ending.
'Kay.
Let's explain it. Here's my theory. So the twist at the end is that when Adelaide, version 1, went into the House of Mirrors, she came out traumatized. In the twist, we come to find that it was not actually her that came out.
Right.
That it was the tethered version. The tethered are the people underground. Okay, it was that version that switched. She choked her, dragged her down there, roped her to a bed, went back up top, and took over her life.
Yep.
Right?
Her whole life. Yeah.
Her whole life. Right? Now, a lot of the confusion, where does the confusion come from?
Which
Mariah, drop an egg and olive
Well,
here.
so what I was wondering was why. So, okay, so basically the tethered, when you first find out about them, you see them down underground, and they're just, the people are on the rides, and then the tethered are just running around in a circle, just kind of doing what the other people are doing.
Right.
But just underground without an actual ride.
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem like they have to do whatever their
The
tether
tethered.
does.
Yeah.
So the main character, the Red Adelaide. So what I was wondering was, why could
They
she
mimic.
all of a sudden just not
Right.
do what her tether's doing? How the fuck she get out? How did she get out of there? You know.
I want.
Well, this is where you said.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I initially, when we did the audio only, it's like we talked about the tethers controlling the surfacers, but I still think it's the other way, because it's like
The surface controlling the
surfacers
tethered.
are living their lives,
Yes.
and the tethers are going through the motions, if
Yes,
you will. You
right.
know, like people doing rides and people like cutesy eating each other, like feeding each other French fries at the boardwalk, when in actuality the tethers are picking apart intestines and pieces of the rabbit
Raw
and
bunny.
like eating a raw rabbit. That's all that they have to sustain themselves. So like no matter what you're eating up here, they're eating bunnies down there. Right. But it's like.
And they mentioned that. She mentions that.
Yeah. She's like, when you had a delicious meal, like all we had was raw, uncooked rabbit, like whatever. But to me, it's like something that made these two girls different. Like, I mean, yeah, they literally, it's like walking up to, I don't know, a mirror, right? Say like your reflection, is like a whole other universe, and like everything's the same except... one's graphically more dark and then one's like just, lighter, if you will. But no matter what you do, you still walk to the same spot. But like I said, these two girls are different for some fucking godly, apparently, reason, because there's a lot of Bible references in this movie. And it's like, this is the moment where, ironically, it's in a house of mirrors that they meet and see each other for the first time. And this young, darker version was like, you know what, fuck you. Like, I'm sitting down here tortured. Obviously, there's another you or another me. Like, fuck you. You're coming back down here. I'm taking your spot, But then I think that's when the roles switch and she takes on the surface tether to the real Adelaide, who is now a tethered person, right?
Right. She's underground.
Right, because, the parents get the fake Adelaide, into ballet and she's dancing. So obviously her new tethered is dancing. And doing things, la 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 la, but she knows that this isn't where she's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Right,
So it's like, yes, there could, like, I don't know if like that connection is weaker than other people's, but again, that brings up the whole point of like, why scissors? And I think it's because the real Adelaide, who is now red in the movie, that's the significance of all these tethered people carrying around scissors. And I noticed that a lot of the times all the tethered people go for the throat and go for the neck and like the voice box area. It's like, because she doesn't have that. That was taken away from her by a surfacer person, now a surfacer person. So it's like, I mean, if you notice, like the two twins, the bitchy ass twins, got stabbed right in the fucking neck. The white guy got sliced, and so did the mom. She got stabbed in the neck too. Like they're all going for like the same area. And if you notice, like all the dead bodies, throat slash, stabs in the neck, like it's all there, like
jugulars,
it's taken away their voices, and like these tethered people are now coming to the surface and like showing their quote unquote voice,
right? Yeah. And I think the Hands Across America MacGuffin, if you will, the relation of Hands Across America, right? It's in the beginning of the movie, we see we see the original Adelaide watching a commercial for Hands Across America. Right. And so she took that down there with her.
Because she was wearing that shirt underneath of it.
Yes.
Underneath her Michael Jackson shirt.
So she took that down below, and that was what the significance of Hands Across America was once they came up. That was their movement. And so the twist of the movie is that they switch spots, right? And a lot of people are like, well, how come she can talk and the others can't? It's because she was once a surface person and is now underground, right? There's a lot of biblical reference. There's a lot of like God talk, and it's like God brought us together.
Right.
And I like to think that because the whole thing was a failed government experiment, right? They created these clones and shoved them in all these tunnels and underground, tunnels that Jordan Peele mentioned in the beginning of the movie. Right. And they shove them all down there in hopes that they could control the surfacers like puppets, right?
Right.
But it failed, so they abandoned the project, right? And so I like to think that the God reference is like, we played God, the government did, and we lost, right? And so God intervened in a way. This is like, I'm not a man of faith, but I'm saying mechanically.
Keep going.
God intervened and brought these two together, right? Like Red went up the escalator, went up the stairs into the House of Mirrors, right? And met Adelaide, right? And then switched so that all of it could be undone. Right. And that could be kind of the biblical presence, if any. And then, but even if you're not of faith and you don't want to go down the God route, which I'd understand, it's like, you could think about like parallel universes and stuff.
Right.
When things get super close and you cross over, everything changes. Right. And so she was down there. She led the resistance, brought everybody up, and they started killing themselves. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's fine.
And then, mirrored the Hands Across America thing, which I thought was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like she's driving in the car and she had acted kind of fucking weird. Like when she was killing people, she's making the like, and her son saw it, he saw it. And so when they're in the car, he knows like, hold up, like you're not really, you're like kind of one of them though. Cause he saw all that shit. And then he puts his mask on, and the only times he ever puts his mask on in the film is when it's battle time.
Right.
And then the camera pulls back. She kind of smiles a little bit. It pulls back. We see Hands Across America, and that's it.
Yeah. And I love the ambulance foreshadowing, too, because that's, like, what the kid uses to, like...
Stop the door. Ooh, I didn't catch that.
And that's what they leave in.
You know how, like, he always runs into the closet and he props it open with the
Yeah.
ambulance?
Yeah.
And that's, wow, I didn't catch that the first time. But I will say it was super fun seeing this movie in Santa Cruz where it was
Yeah.
filmed.
Yeah.
Everybody in our theater, like every time Santa Cruz anything was on there, everyone's cheering, like, oh, my bro lives there, dude. We go surfing down there.
Someone gave it a standing ovation.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
In like one of the front rows,
was
like they
awesome.
stood up and they were clapping. I was like, "You are a true Santa Cruz person."
Yeah.
Mariah, you were born and raised around here. What'd you think about seeing Santa Cruz on the big screen again?
I had no idea it was filmed in Santa Cruz, so
Yeah.
it was so funny because when it started, it was like Santa Cruz, California, and I was like, "What?"
They did do some stuff
Yeah.
in LA too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're definitely
Yeah.
like the lake. I'm like, I don't really think that there's a
Yeah,
lake
there's-
that close to here, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was
No.
really cool just seeing
cool,
like
though.
because it was kind of like Last Boys.
Yeah.
Which was filmed here too, and so
Right.
it's
That's
so
true.
cool being like, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah,
That's
like
so
we
cool,
literally,
yeah.
we literally like all the shots where they're listening to I Got Five on it and they're
Yeah.
coming around the turn and you see the beach
drove
and you
it.
see the boardwalk. We drove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the rides that you see people on, we were there.
The
Yeah.
moment where she like walks past like the Jeremiah 11:11 and the two
Yeah.
people playing like rock paper scissors. She
Yeah.
goes on the stairs. Like that's a thing. That's
all the
real.
thing.
It's literally there. We were
Yeah,
there today.
we were
I've been
there.
there many times.
And that was cool,
Yeah.
But overall, I think we did a good job explaining the ending. I honestly think that this is one of those movies where if we were to go in and see it again right now, we'd be like, oh,
For sure.
I think so,
You're gonna
too.
pick up more the
Yeah.
second, third time you see it. It's like, oh, and I mean, like the YouTube video that I watched this morning, like there's even significance to like the kids' names, like whether it's the actual surface kids' names or even like the tethered version of the kids' names. Like there's just significance in literally every single detail of this movie. And
a lot
like,
of duality.
a lot of duality, a lot of Michael Jackson references. They were only wearing like the one glove, like all the Reds were just wearing one glove.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
The Michael
was
Jackson
wondering why they did
T-shirt,
that, yeah.
like it's a lot of like '80s moments because like Michael Jackson is a very like duality person.
That's true.
Went from being full African American to like bleaching his skin and identifying as like
Yeah.
a white man.
Right.
It's like there's just so many references. We could
Yeah.
literally sit here for hours and like look at every detail one by one and do the research, but I'm not analytical like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to like get super crazy.
But I think overall it was a super fun
Yeah,
movie. I mean,
of
it's
course.
we gave it a B+, hard recommend from everybody. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out. I might even see it again, and
I probably won't go see it in theaters again.
I probably won't either. But I definitely will watch it again.
Yeah, of course.
It was super fun to see Santa Cruz. It's in our backyard. That's awesome. Yeah. Hopefully we shed some light on the ending. All around good movie. We recommend it. Go see it. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you think there's way more to this ending than we're letting on, comment below.
Let us know.
Yeah,
The
'cause
differences.
We want to know what you guys think. And,
Veronica, what's up?
Veronica DZ, our number one fan. We're gonna get her a shirt. Someday we talked about having her on the show. Like she's like our only real fan.
It still counts.
It still counts.
Still counts.
For more on this episode, find us on iTunes, find us on Stitcher. We get into it. We go deep,
So deep.
so deep. Hey,
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not the one.
You
who
didn't
said
do it. You didn't do it. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. On your way out, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for Michael so that you're always known when we're publishing new material. And let us know if there's a movie you want us to watch. Veronica lets us know every
All the
week.
time.
And
Yeah.
we always come with an episode
I know
for
that's
her.
fun. That's
Yeah.
fun thing to do. Yeah.
Maybe someday someone will recommend Mighty Ducks. I don't know. We're not there yet. I'm just putting it out there.
We will never be there.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next episode. I'm Jeremy Miller.
Mariah Martell.
And Michael Harness.
We'll see you guys next week.